Mr. Grimes sits in the old ice wagon on the side of the road with old shotgun. There the old man and his horse await the arrival of the three. He being informed of the need of his wagon to retrieve a new window pane to replace that which was shattered the night before. The old iceman inquires as to the early release of the children, whereupon young Perkins relates in detail the frightening episode that had earlier occurred. The conversation turns to the supernatural. The old iceman, Mr. Grimes, leaves the group spellbound as he relates chilling tales that he and Shotgun had experienced during their travels. He spoke of ghostlies, ghoulies, and long-legged beastlies, and things that go bump in the night. He spoke chillingly of fog-shrouded nights, where he and Shotgun found themselves lost within an eerie green mist, a mist so thick that they traveled in near blindness. The sound of the horses' hooves on the hard ground, preventing the wagon from straying from the path and stumbling into the surrounding mire of the swamp of the dead. Its name resulting from the many reports of ghostly encounters by travelers who found themselves surrounded by ghastly specters of blind spirits. Spirits that weep and moan as they aimlessly wander in search of the living. Mr. Grimes spoke of an encounter he and Shotgun had as they traveled late one night where the potter's field stood. The iceman spoke of seeing something eating what to him had the appearance of a body part, perhaps a human arm. Whatever the animal was, the old man couldn't quite describe. Anyway, me and old Shotgun ain't going that route no more. Passing the sundown sign marking the town's entrance, the wagon at last reached the front of the old ice house. Mr. Grimes would never travel beyond the boundaries of the ice house. He had no intentions of entering Musky's interior. He despised the town. He knew the horror that stood brooding in the center of the town's square. Pulling up in front of the ice house, he declares, "Well, here we are." Whereupon the three exit the wagon and proceed in the direction of the general store. The sound of old Shotgun pulling up to the ice house brought out the usual group of whites, who began to converse with the old man. All the while, Mr. Grimes presenting a smile as false as his teeth. Every time young Perkins entered Musky, he would be assailed by a sickening feeling, especially after the night he and Jonah had defied the sundown law. Pastor Jackson found it strange that an intruder would attempt entry at a home while illuminated and activity perceptive inside. When the widow spoke with the pastor, she merely informed Pastor Jackson that there had been an intruder. Concerned, he followed the young widow to her home. There he saw the dried blood and broken glass. The pastor also saw the inhuman footprints the creature left behind. He knew that it was no mere burglar, no simple thief. Pastor Jackson thought that the two were hiding something from him. He was certain that whatever it was that lurked near the widow's house was something extremely dangerous. Though there were signs of blood, the pastor believed that they were under some sort of demonic assault. They would have to wage a spiritual war. Pastor Jackson again questions young Perkins as to what had truly transpired. Young Perkins again resorts to evasive subterfuge. His dishonesty only adds to frustrate the pastor. The three stand before the open door of the general store. An old hound dog lay in the doorway, lazily sunning itself, while a small group of poor whites sit atop wooden barrels that rest against the wall of the country store. Seeing the three who remain standing at the entryway, a half-drunken cracker calls to the storekeeper, "Hey, Bob, there's some negras outside." Thereupon, the storekeeper questions, "What y'all negras want?" "Window glass," shouts the pastor. Thin white lips pucker around a large chaw of chewing tobacco. Chewing a bit, then spitting into a nearby spittoon. Giving a sigh of exasperation, the storekeeper yells, "Well, Come on in." Noticing the group's attempt to enter, the lazy hound slowly rises and lopes away, allowing them entry. The group enters the store, where at the side of the room 2 elderly white men sit in rocking chairs, engaged in a friendly game of checkers. "Window glass, you say?" inquires the storekeeper, who once more spits in the spittoon. "What size?" 3 feet long by 2 feet wide, expresses Pastor Jackson. His eyes run the length of the shelves, examining the various sundries. 2 of the deputy's sycophants had noticed the group as they entered town. Apprehensive of the pastor's intentions, the 2 young toughs decided to follow. Walking up the porch of the country store, the 2 young whites stand just inside the entryway. Their eyes gaze lustfully at the young widow. Ignoring their gaze, she casually saunters across the room and begins examining the various reams of fabric on the shelves in the women's section. Young Perkins pays no notice. He, instead, eyes the colorful assortment of candies displayed within various glass jars. 2 feet by... what? Questions the store clerk, only half listening. 3 feet by 2 feet, replies the pastor in a loud voice. "Watch your mouth, boy." The clerk, obviously angered by the pastor's bellicosity. Pastor glares unafraid, stalwartly staring back. Taken aback by a Negro displaying such true grit, forces the clerk into the back room in quest for said glass. The clerk, all the while grumbling, the pastor's commanding voice gains the attention of all, plunging the store into dead silence. The 2 young toughs, standing sentinel at the door, began whispering to each other. Whereupon the 2 men rush from the confines of the country store, their steps echoing in the direction of the pool hall.